We've all been disappointed in our life, one way or another. But tonight I'm going to show you at least 5 ways that how you can deal with disappointment if you are joining in, because that is our topic today. Nobody likes to get disappointed, but it's a part of life, isn't it? So good evening, and tonight we're going to talk about, yes, how to deal with disappointment. And again, as I mentioned, I give you at least 5 ways. 5 ways on how you can deal with disappointment to get better out in your life and have a better time, because it's not a nice feeling to have. So if you are all get started in this Facebook Live, let's how to deal with what disappointment. Well, simply let's get started. Well, that is me, and let me introduce myself to you. My name is Andreas Dorn. I'm your certified NLP trainer since 2005. I'm here in Malaysia running a company called Asia Mind Dynamics, and with Asia Mind Dynamics we help you to experience your life the way you deserve, desire it. And that, of course, should get you over disappointment when you learn NLP. And of course, I want to say hello to those people who already tuned in into that session. One is, of course, Chris. Hello, Chris. And Topaz Diversity, F5 to you. And James is here. Yes, James is here. A good, faithful soul, the two of you. Thank you very much for joining in, all right? I really promise you that it will be an exciting session. You won't be disappointed listening to this one here, into this session, of course, you know. But hey, you know the rhythm, of course. If you like what you are hearing, just smash the like button, smash the share button, invite people over you think could learn something from this session here as well, so that they can get over disappointment and achieve a beautiful life in their life, of course. Overall, we need to have that. And I've changed a little bit of the graphics. So hey, as you are in this session, feel free to ask your question, comment, because all of us have been disappointed before. So you can comment about how terrible disappointment was in your life. Send me a personal message if it was too deeply, of course. And hey, participate. Give me a like if you like to have it, of course, you know. So if you are ready for rock and roll and the audience is cheering on, so let's get started. So yes, tonight we're going to talk about how to get over disappointment, and I promise you at least 5 tips. Why do I cough always when I say the topic? 5 tips on how to get over disappointment. How do you manage disappointment in your life? Because it is something that we all need to get rid of overall. Okay, so let me know right now in the comments section if you have been disappointed before. Type yes if there happened something with you. Type no. Type no if you have never been disappointed before, because there might be people in life who are never disappointed, and that would be awful to learn from you. See how it comes with me. I can vividly remember a situation in my own life when I was disappointed, and I was very young at that time. My parents shifted the area. We moved house into a different location altogether because the city was our old house was dismantled or crashing or whatever it's called. We had to move to a different area. So a different area meant move from primary school to secondary school in a new school. I was a new kid on the block. I didn't know any of those kids, and I was really already scared because there's not nobody around that I knew, and they all knew each other. And I was just about, I think I was about 12 years old. That's a time when kids in Germany go from primary school to secondary school. But I didn't care because it was just me, okay? I thought like, okay, reach out, be myself. In primary school, I was pretty good in school. I didn't need to study much. I was acing all the studies. And then came the time when I remember vividly, really like, phooey. I had my expectations of acing in secondary school as well. And there were these math tests, mathematics, especially ad math. I don't know if you know ad math. If you like, hey Alex, good to see you as well. Do you like math, all of you? Do you like math? Type in yes. If you like math, type no. If you don't like math, because I should type in no, because I still don't like math. And I was like in that test, I expected to ace. And the results came back and they were terrible, below anything I've ever experienced, you know. It was the first 4 tests in math I totally smashed to the ground. It was nothing, you know. And I was so deeply disappointed because I had no idea what happened. Neither did my parents. Looking back to this one right now, I realize how disappointment comes. How really disappointment is created, you know. And that situation is a vivid memory in my head, you know. I hated it. I didn't like it. And there are many more situations in school then, because it burned into my neurology that I just didn't like school anymore, secondary school. Yeah, it was like from school year 6 in Germany to school year 13 in Germany. You've got 13 years to go to school in total. So 7 years of suffering, and I didn't like it, you know, because I thought I was a good student, but it never really worked out. And then I was thinking today that there is something which I call the disappointment cycle. You see, you have a belief about yourself. What is this belief? The belief that you are good. You believe something. The beliefs are the fabric in our life. It is how we look at the world. Beliefs is how we are looking at the world, how we are filtering out information, and we are trying to match what we are seeing with the beliefs inside of our head. Now, what can come next, of course, you know, beliefs are how we are looking at the world and evaluate situations. And those beliefs automatically, of course, hey, Alyssa is here. I didn't know Alyssa is here as well. Good to see you as well. So these beliefs shape our expectations of how we are expecting something. Like when I was in this school, I believed I'm good in school. I had the expectations that I'm going to succeed overall. I really believed that would happen, and I was good at it, you know. There's a degree of hope that we might have in our life. That you are meeting your beliefs overall. So you're expecting certain outcomes. Now, if your expectations are out of sync with your beliefs, if your expectations are out of sync with your beliefs, what you believe should happen, then you have an experience. And of course, this experience, in my case, in school, when I was believing I'm a good student and I expected good result, and then the experience threw me out of the water overall, you know. My experience was differently, and automatically I absolutely felt disappointed. I thought I'm acing again like I did in primary school, but now it didn't work out. I failed my exams, I failed my school, you know. Now I had this experience, and from disappointment, if disappointment happens too often, it can actually enter sadness. It can actually enter deep sadness overall. And it's been told, actually, if you are disappointed too often, it might lead into depression overall, if you're disappointed too much. And then it should shape, or it starts to shape your beliefs again. Now, if you're good, of course, your experience of what you experience the sadness or the disappointment, and you might start to shift your beliefs into something different, that you are, that I would not believe anymore that I'm a best student overall, okay? Which I changed very quickly because I realized I'm not the best student anymore. But sometimes our disappointment is repeated over and over and over again because we might have beliefs about the world, about maybe, let's say, you're believing the world or the relationship should be really beautiful and wonderful and nothing should happen, and Prince Charming or Princess Charming is coming up to you and you feel good. Now that is your belief overall, and if you are in that belief situation, you're expecting actually situations to happen, and you have an experience of maybe breakup, or you come together with somebody who doesn't appreciate you, again you're disappointed, and you might feel sad. How come it happens again and again and again? Now, of course, there are more situations again, because some people repeat negative situations overall again and again and again. And what happens then ultimately, they have this mindset of the world is not for you. Their beliefs has changed. So we have a relation between beliefs and expectations. And look at that. It can happen anywhere. It could be, for example, a team member in work. Now, I was just talking about my life in school. But imagine you have a team member, and really, hey guys, feel free to contribute and add on if you have such experience. And let me see if there's anybody else who's saying something before I continue. Yes, Alyssa, communicate to Chris, and Chris said hello to Alyssa. And we say all hello to everybody here. It's awesome to see you. And if you are here and you haven't introduced yourself, please type something in the comment box so I do know that you are here, so I can say hello to you. Let me just check out as well if I can see anything. No, I don't know anybody else who is here. Of course, I see my darling wife is here. Hey, Natshwar, of course, as well I can say. So, in what situations can we experience disappointment? See, it's about expectation. We have a team member, and the team member might be promising, and we hope we're giving them something to do, and they don't manage what we expect from them. Boom, we get disappointed. And it damages our belief into their capabilities. And we might say like, this person never delivers what I want. I wish I wouldn't have hired him, for example. Imagine you expect something from your spouse, and sometimes they screw up. It can also happen, right? You have an expectation of your spouse, you believe it should happen, then screw up something accidentally or not accidentally. Boom, you might be disappointed. Will that actually happen, and then your trust might be damaged? It depends on what happened, of course, If it's really something really traumatic, then automatically it is possible that then something is happening and your trust is totally destroyed, and your belief is shaped and it just disappears totally. It is possible, of course, If it's something smaller, you expected something from your spouse, something happened, and then your expectation does not get fulfilled, you feel disappointed, it's possible, it's okay, sometimes it's okay. Let's say you have high hopes because there's a relationship. Yes, exactly. Chris, it's always two sides to a coin. Look at the positive side. And we're getting to the positive stuff, of course, of what you can learn from disappointment, all right? So imagine kids nowadays. Kids are supposed to ace in class, in school, and many parents train their kids 3 years old or 4 years old to become the superstar in school and in life already. And kids just want to play. Kids just want to have fun. And then, of course, the parents might be disappointed, either in the teacher or in the children. And that's a challenging part, because if that is happening, if it's a young children and they're realizing you are disappointed in them, they don't know how to cope with it, they might then start to feel, I am not good enough. I can't manage the expectations of my kids, and that would be terrible overall. So if you got little children, hey Ashley, good to see you as well. If you have little children, you should not allow yourself to be disappointed with them, or don't articulate it, or don't show it in your face, because the kids don't know how to cope with it. They don't have your strength, they don't have your experience, they don't have your ability to cope with it. So if you are with a young child and they don't meet your expectations, don't put your expectations onto them and saying, kiddo, you failed, or you should study harder, you are not good enough, because it is burning into their mindset, and they have a problem forever of not feeling good enough and always trying to meet your expectations. And then if they have learned it as a little child, they will never be able to cope with it if they are older. So let's listen to what Alyssa here was saying right now. All right, hey, Honket also here. Alyssa is saying there are good expectations and there are bad ones. Good expectations can be our motivation drivers. I absolutely agree. But today I'm going to talk about disappointment, and that means we have expectations which are not met along that line, of course, But hey, even disappointment could, you're very right there. Disappointment could drive us to reach more, to get to next levels higher. So I'm getting there in just a while. It is possible the boyfriend or the girlfriend is behaving in an unexpected manner. You expect so much from them. You are in love with them. The world is blue-eyed. You're running around and you're blue-eyed, yeah. And you're so happy. Everything is nice and beautiful around you, and suddenly something is happening, and then they are disappointing you. It could be about you're shifting your beliefs. An athlete who is training so hard to get somewhere, to an Olympics, to a competition, and just doesn't meet his own expectations, or the expectations even of his club, or of his parents maybe, or of his team members overall, okay? And it's possible, of course, hey, even little things. You're going into a restaurant, we have great expectations about a good meal, and we are disappointed by the quality. Now that is a disappointment we can all live, and we all have experience, of course. Let's say you buy something and you expect a lot from the purchase of the product or the service, and then suddenly it doesn't work out and you are disappointed. Like today I bought something online, and it was about 5 hours ago, and I'm still waiting. For the password. So I already get to the help desk, and I'm already disappointed because I was looking forward to this product overall. So I believe all of you have experiences like this, right? That we have been disappointed. We were disappointed in our children, maybe, in our parents, in our spouse, in our lovers, into situations. And that is absolutely okay. That is absolutely okay. That's just our life. Oi, City, you are here as well. Didn't see you coming in. All right. Cool to see you as well. You had a good time here today in our office. Wonderful. Awesome. Yay. So, yay. Let's deal with it, with what we actually can do in those disappointments. Because disappointment, you got to think about, what is a disappointment? A disappointment is like a rear mirror, but I'm a bit getting ahead of myself, So we are talking about disappointment and expectations right now. The problem is that if we are disappointed, what can happen is that we are suddenly, it's final. Sometimes we make a final conclusion, disappointed with the situation. It's never for me. I can't get it done. I am disappointed with that person. We close the book. It's final. And for you, or for a person who is disappointed, they are disappointed about saying, I don't get it. I'd never get it. I am not good enough. I'm just not getting. And that can lead to sadness overall. Now, I have met overall, when I was talking about in the cycle here, I haven't talked about sadness, because sadness is a totally different topic altogether. But if you are wired to expect the best, and then you are let down and you don't get what you want, disappointment can let you down, and then there's a physiological response in your brain, especially when you have a tendency toward depression. So it might be harder if you are getting too disappointed too often, and you have a tendency to get emotionalized negatively. Then it is really, really possible that you have a hard time getting up, brushing yourself off, and moving on, because your brain can actually prevent you from doing it. And that is a challenging part. So now let's talk about what can you do in a normal situation. In a normal situation, to get up and move on. And hey, that's for Anthony and for Patrick, because both of you are in the car industry, all right? You got to realize, that disappointment is kind of like it happened already. It's in the past. It's like looking into the rear mirror and not being able to refocus on to the future of what could happen, what should be happening. So it's really like a rear mirror we're looking into the past, and we have to realize that disappointment can happen to anybody. So allow me now to really share with you some beautiful tips about disappointment. And these are easy tips to think about. It's nothing really special, you know. So the first tip you want to think about is, it can happen to everyone. Life can be disappointing. We have expectations. We want the job. We want the girlfriend. We want the boyfriend. We want the money. We want hey, win the lottery. Sometimes we just don't get what we want. Like the Rolling Stones were singing, you can't always get what you want. It's part of life. So it's not about focusing always, and it of course depends, you know. It's always, I'm getting to more points and what you can learn from it, you know. But it's realizing already that you are not the only person who is getting disappointed. That's an easy tip, of course. Your parents tell you that, okay? That when you get disappointed in a relationship, hey, it's not the first time and you want to get more disappointed, blah, blah, blah. We got to also think, you know, it's a more important one. We got to become aware of the emotions, you know. Become aware of the emotion and what triggers it. What causes you to get disappointed? Think about the graphic I showed you earlier. What caused you to get disappointed? Become aware of it and realize that it might be something that always triggers you. Always the same situation triggers your disappointment. Then there's something to learn for you. Because it's not the situation, it's about you learning about it. And it gets to the next point, you got to learn from disappointment. It's always about learning from disappointment. Every situation, you can learn something. It is so incredibly important, you know. And when you're learning something from that situation, you're looking at that situation. You're stepping back. You're realizing what could happen. What could cause this to happen? Why is it that it's always happening to me? And learn from it to avoid it from happening again. Now, if you are often disappointed, we have this self-talk in our head, and we start to ruminate, we start to self-talk negatively. Why is it happening to me? How is it always me? Why never anybody else? Why is life so terrible to me? Why do I never get what I want to get? Why? It doesn't bring you anything. Move on. Hey man, move on, not you. Move on, watch your self-talk. What's really going on in that little box in your head? Redefine your own rules. See, you might have rules inside you that are disempowering. For example, that you believe you must be perfect. Long time back earlier, I talked about some perfectionism in this Facebook Live. So I might have put a link into the Facebook, into this video to link to the section on perfectionism. But if you have a rule that everything or everybody around you must be perfect, redefine the rules. Not everything is perfect. Stuff happens to you. And that leads to, of course, manage your expectations about situations. If your expectations are skyrocketingly high about other people, you can't manage other people. You can only manage yourself. You can only manage your reaction to situations. So you got to be aware of this one, of course, as well. How do you manage your expectations with regard to yourself and other people and situations? And just take a broad, neutral look at it and see what happens. And then, of course, we go back to question your beliefs. Are your beliefs really true? Are your beliefs really the true? The iron and stone, I'm not sure if that's the right one. Are they really fact? Because beliefs are true to you, but maybe not to anybody else. So question your beliefs. Is your belief system really solid? Is it appropriate for that situation overall? Be realistic. Not necessarily be realistic, Chris. Dream big. But be able to manage sometimes your expectations about the so-called reality. Because, hey, as the English poet Alexander Pope was an old poet, and he was saying something pretty cool. He was saying, "Blessed is he who expects nothing, for he shall never be disappointed." Yay! Blessed is he or she. It's an old picture, it's an old guy, it's a male coming from a male-dominated society. But blessed is he who expects nothing, for he shall never be disappointed. Because you got to realize, I got to share some stuff with you right now. You have to realize the one thing. Because when disappointment rules you and your life is full of disappointment, you would be lost. Because you have given up on yourself ultimately in your life. And what's left behind then is only regret. In order to really get over disappointment, you have to get clarity about you as a person, integrating all the learnings I shared with you earlier. Get clarity about you, of who you are as a person, what rules you, your own beliefs within yourself and your own values. And also you need to have a vision of what you want to achieve in your life. And it's only when you don't have a vision of what you yourself want to achieve, and you will you be able to live with disappointment. So if you have no vision, disappointment will rule you. If you are not clear about yourself and your values, it's easy to get disappointed. If you are not clear about yourself and your values and the vision you have for yourself in the future, you will be disappointed. But it's not so much about the people, about disappointment about people or situations. Because the job for you watching this one right now is actually to transcend, to get beyond those who disappoint you. And how much stronger you can get in the journey of your life. So you must transcend the situation you are in. You must get stronger than the situation you are in. You must grow toward your vision to outgrow those who disappoint you. Because when you outgrow those who you think disappoint you, what will happen is you are leaving them behind. You might tolerate them. You might realize that you have a vision that is greater than anything other minds can comprehend. Your vision might be so big. And other people might disappoint you because you want to strive for something big, unseen, that is not yet existing. And of course there are people who hold you back because their minds are not there where you want to go. So what happens if you are embarking on something big and you have that big vision? There will be disappointment in your life, but it should not be the reason to give up on your vision. It should not be a reason to give up on yourself. So it's really about getting clear of yourself, of your journey, and you have to expect that there might be setbacks in your life. But it's always about you being able to ultimately create your life the way you want to experience it. That's what it is all about. You want to experience your life your way, not anybody else's way. And other people, that is the only person that can disappoint you would be yourself. But if you challenge your beliefs, why am I disappointed right now? Is my belief wrong? Change the belief. If you are disappointed because you haven't given everything to get there, then it might be a good disappointment too, as Alyssa said right just now, to motivate you to the next level. So that is the important part that you want to have. And hey, I gotta say something, of course, because it's about managing your beliefs. It's about managing your expectations. It is about managing yourself and other people, learning from different situations. And that really leads me, of course, I have to say that, it leads me to our next NLP practitioner training. The next training is upcoming. In September, already September, man goodness, 3 months to go till the end of the year. So it's your chance now to really get to the most outstanding NLP training there is, I believe, in Malaysia. I'm proud it's a long training because it's a powerful training to transcend yourself, to grow towards your goal. This week we spoke to 2 outstanding people who really managed to break through their goals after our NLP training, after our hypnosis training. It's really awesome. So you have to really make that happen. I don't know what is this one here right now. It doesn't really matter. But what I want you to also I want you to, if you haven't done this yet, I want you to go and come to our beautiful free online course. Here's a link once again. If you don't have the time to get to our NLP practitioner training, please make sure that at least you're coming to our group and to the Facebook mastermind group. I forgot my own group right now. Okay. Yes, come on in to our NLP Master Academy group in Facebook, because there we are talking a lot about how do you manage yourself getting to the next level. So that's really all that I wanted to share with you today. It was really about, oops, that's the wrong one. I didn't want to do this one right now. You know, I'm messing up myself, okay? It was a great session about disappointment. I thank you all so much for being here. I'm responding to your comments in just a while, most likely tomorrow morning. Share your comments. Invite other people to come over here, watch and listening to this Facebook Live, because I think it was really, really, really good stuff. Yes, and otherwise, I cannot say anything else, but hey, you create your life, and some of you I'll see tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.